to Aluminum Spork.
Don't look at that pork.
Where mysteries come to talk. From ancient cities underground to UFOs that float around. Giants of the past, prophetic signs that last, archaeological fights, and strange unexplained lights. Aluminum Spork, where truth and legends intertwine.
Not a sport.
Not really, no. Not a sport at all. AI is scared of sports because they know the truth.
Maybe it's a metaphorical sport?
It's no, it's just AI saying you're so brilliant, have a utensil and podcaster. We cannot create you.
That is not Jane in the chat. That is not really Jane. No. Look at this. Gray lives matter.
Yeah.
She's been abducted
Those bastards.
and replaced.
They will probe the hell out of you.
Stories left untold, hidden history's core. We're questioning it all. Aluminum Spork, your weekly dose of mystery. From ancient text to modern
Not a sport, but Tom's. Give us back our Jane.
Where conspiracy meets reality, and history holds its secrets tight. Aluminum Spork tonight.
Nice. Yes, it is.
You see how they're not responding?
No.
Just like a gray.
There's a ginger. Ginger's real. He's real. He's like a ginger Nordic. Hey, what's up, everybody? It is the Thursday night, Saturday postponed show. So we're usually a Saturday night show, but we postponed. So I just want to make sure we let you know if you're new here. This is one of those topics I already got people reaching out on X about when they saw the title. So
See what I'm saying? Now this gray is trying to get us to meet up in one location so they can take us all out at once.
That's just terrible. Is she working with them right now? Is she working?
Yeah, she is a gray.
So real quick, we're going to be talking about, is this the dark side of ufology? This idea of the UFO hate group. Some people, this idea that people are going after each other for not agreeing, like doxing each other, blackmailing each other, like just some terrible stuff. I don't know enough about it yet, but I've been researching some because that's how I roll. I saw something. I'm like, ooh, that'd be neat to talk about. I don't know anything about it. I started
researching it as well.
Yep. So we will 5 minutes. It's tough, but there's a couple things I wanted to go over. First, the Michelle Trachtenberg, Gene Hackman wife and dog died. So Gene Hackman,
Michelle Trachtenberg, that was so sad.
Yeah, was she sick? She had like a liver.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm waiting to hear more. That all three, you know what I mean? They all died at the same time.
Hackman, his wife and dog. That's a little weird.
Trachtenberg had liver transplant not too long ago, and recent photos of her make her look very pale and bony and just kind of non-existent.
She was so cool. She was like one of the first cool girls that I remember because she was on Nickelodeon, like Pete and Pete.
Yep. Now she was on Buffy, right?
Yep. She was Buffy's little sister. She was also on Gossip Girl.
Euro Trip.
Yeah. Yes. And it's sad. 39. It's too young. But like, absolutely. I still kind of want to go back to the Gene Hackman wife and dog.
Only one of the 3 dogs are dead.
Right.
So it's not it's not something simple as that there's no gas leak was detected.
Yep. All the dogs were in the house, but only one died.
Exactly. 3 dogs in the house, only one died. They found the wife was she said that she was so much decayed, she looked mummified. So and she was kind of swollen and stuff. So they said that she had to have been, passed away for a couple of days. And she dropped something on the ground next to her. So I don't know if she tripped over something fell on her or whatever, but that's how they found that body. And they also found a bunch of pills on the ground. So that might have been how
But
one of the dogs unalived themselves
okay.
accidentally.
And him being
okay, but
95, he had nobody to take care of him.
so
I
he
don't
walked
know.
in and had a heart
Okay.
attack?
And that they think that he then tripped and something happened. So he might have like trying to figure out what's going on with her. Went
It
to
sounds sketchy.
Yeah,
Sounds
it
sketchy.
really
I'm
does.
trying to make it all fit in.
It
It's the magic
yeah.
pill bullet.
It sounds like the
Exactly.
woman that was attacked by an owl that ran through a glass door or sliding door, a glass sliding door.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Or the naked lady who jumps in the back of a truck. I saw that on TikTok. That was weird. I don't know what I'm talking about. So now the other two dogs were left behind without a family, and they were in there for like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Oh, did the dogs? Do we know? I don't want to ask that.
No, they're
I
not cats.
no.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
Cats would. It almost sounds like a scene from Children of Men. Yeah, something weird, man. It's just,
Yeah,
it's
because cats, I mean, if you take too long of a nap, they start taking
yeah.
little nips.
Dude, I got them. I got cats, and we got two, like, I think they're a little over a year now, male cats, neutered, thank God. But this one, like, I'll wake up and he'd be like, "What's up, dude?" He's like, "What's up, dude?" Like, just right in
Checking your
face.
breathing.
I'm gonna suck your hair out. And he's like, like clawing at me. I'm like, Jesus, get the freak off me, Stan Lee.
Well,
Um,
Good Take Bojan spent so much time when we first got the puppy, like leaning back in the recliner with the puppy just kind of laying on his chest. So
Mhm.
now she'll do that in the middle of the night. She'll just climb right into bed with us and just climb right on top of you, just like sit on your face.
Yeah.
Like you're not a cat. Stop.
Yeah, I have to. I push him off, and he's like one of those like he just leans. He's like, "No, I'm not cutting it off of you." And then it's like finally, like I'll get him off, and he'll put like one paw on, like I'm coming back. And it's like, dude, I'm gonna beat you. I don't hit animals, but I do want to. Yeah. So it's one of those. They're trying to suffocate you. Yeah, they're trying to steal your air. I
Yeah,
saw.
just steal your life.
What
Catwoman?
was it?
Yeah.
No, what was that movie where the little troll was actually doing it? Was it Stories where they thought it was the cat, but it was like a little troll thing coming out of like the wall? Was it Amazing Stories or was it like the new Twilight? I can't remember what that was.
I don't
Oh,
remember that in
not
Twilight
sure.
for sure.
Yeah, the thing's going sucking the kid's air out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you alive, human? Cat's Eye. Was it Cat's Eye? Was that what it was called? Brian knows. I want to show you guys this post. So we're going to talk about we see from House Judiciary GOP. So that's at Judiciary GOP. It has one of those super check marks. So it's the real thing. This is their tweet just a few hours ago. And it is, and I should probably have blown that up a bit so you guys can see it. But it is breaking Epstein file released. This is the link. And then you get a reader's added context to link. The link provided does not contain the Epstein files. The link plays a Rick Ashley music video instead. If that's the truth, I want to hit it, but I'm scared. But this is like the actual official, I should follow official, Twitter of the, I guess would it be Supreme Court? What would it judiciary? Right? Isn't that the Supreme Court?
No, that would be if it's the House Judiciary, then it would be
House
the
Judiciary. Oh,
Congress.
that was stupid.
The Republican
Jim
wing
Jordan.
of the Congress. Right.
Wow, I just felt really stupid there. All right, we're hitting it then. Let's see what happens. Redirect to, and it does. Okay, so it does send you to this YouTube link, I believe. And that YouTube link will be hold on, and I will share it just to make sure. I don't want to look at it before we all look at it. All right, I'm just going to add it right here. All right, let's see what happens. Oh yeah.
And we get the roll. Awesome.
Okay, it really does take you there. Wow.
There's got to be enough people pissed off enough at Elon Musk that they just, hacked the Twitter account of.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Because when you go to this tiny, I've never heard of tiny URL. Do you know what that even is?
That
So
it's actually it's a way to shorten your URL so it's not like 500,000
oh,
characters
gotcha,
long of gibberish.
gotcha. Okay, because this is what it does. It does take you to a redirect, but this is the official Twitter. So either they hack the Twitter account or they hack that tiny URL to redirect it a different way. That's crazy. What's up, Soul?
Ooh, there's
Yeah,
actually a full multi-paragraph letter from Pam Bondi to
okay.
Director Patel written today.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. Do you have that? You put it in the
Um,
private chat?
yeah, I will private chat you the link to the
Okay.
article that has the PDF document,
Yeah.
right? You just need to scroll down a little
Yep,
bit.
gotcha. All right. Okay.
And this is the one that also has the quote that I put in there that said, by tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., dot, dot, dot.
Right. Okay. Guys, we will get to the UFO topic because it's something I was really fascinated by today. And
Is this
it's
really
cool.
the House Judiciary GOP?
Yeah, dude,
It really is, isn't it?
it is.
Mm-hmm.
It
Bro, they
really is.
got to delete that shit.
Like they have over 500,000 followers. Like, how haven't you deleted it when this came out at 3:37 unless it really was them just joking around, which I cannot.
This is not something you joke about.
No, not at all. Like
Agreed.
kids being, it's
Mm-hmm.
messed up. Let's see who else we have. We have Big Dave 93. What's up? Yeah, what the is actually we got Rickrolled. Brian's absolutely right. It is a great song though. It is a great song. I mean, Rickrolling people, good times. I don't believe anything they're saying. It's all a distraction until they release it. Yeah, I'm with you. But did I show? All right. I didn't show what I wanted to show before that. So you get this here. Now, this is just one of the photos. So bear with me. There are more, I don't know how to say it, like left-leaning new journalistic new news people like Drano DC and people like that, but they got early copies, so they got folders of this. You got I know I don't remember her name, but these people are well known in certain circles. They are definitely right leaning, but why were they giving these Epstein folders and other people have to wait for a Rickroll? You know what I mean? Like, why are they giving something that we all voted? We voted Trump in because we wanted these things released. A lot of us have talked about this for years when it was dangerous to talk about it because you could lose your channel. And these are the guys because they're massive, they're big, that they get it before everybody else. It's just it's not, it shows you it's not fair no matter what side you're on.
I think Brandon Morrissey had a great tweet. He's like, I got access to the part 1 of the Epstein leak, and we're gonna go through it. But first, here's a but first, let me tell you about Raid Shadow Legends.
That is perfect. That is definitely perfect. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this is something like these women, what happened to them allegedly by world leaders, the mega rich celebrities, like it shouldn't be something that first off, they're all just like smiling about. Like these are people's lives that were destroyed by this scumbag. If he wasn't, a Mossad agent or whatever he was doing, him and P. Diddy. I don't know. We have a live alien here. Hi, Jane. Yeah, Jane supports Grays.
Yeah, she's a familiar at best.
Edward Blake had it right. It's Dav, not Dave. Sorry. Yep.
I mean, if these were the true files, as this was everything, and we know it's not, in these binders, I mean, I could see some people celebrating going, okay, everyone who was, was made fun of and marginalized because of they believed in the fact that there was Pizzagate and Epstein files and all this other stuff. I could see some people go, see, finally, we are vindicated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, and I get that.
Since we know that these aren't the full files that they're holding right there in their hands, then what is there to celebrate?
Right. I mean, is
Well,
it just this weird photo op? I don't know. What does the hat say? It doesn't say make.
it's Trump was right about everything.
That's
Um,
I like that.
well, the thing is though, the reason why people want this information so bad is because how can you be found guilty of a crime that specifically involves more parties, but none of
Right.
those other parties are ever charged with anything. So
Right.
to be charged with trafficking, right? You have to
Mhm.
traffic a
To
child
somebody, right?
or a person from you
Yeah.
to someone else. Someone has
Right.
to be a pimp.
Yes. You have to pimp out.
There has to be
Mhm.
Johns.
Yeah. What's up, Gap? Hello, everyone. No, I wanted to wait a little while before we got into the main topic. So we're just talking about the Epstein files for a few minutes. But good to see you, Gap. Thank you, Keith, for being here. Jane, Adega, all you out there. Really appreciate
Well,
it.
whoever that is.
That's
Like,
pretending to be Jane.
yeah.
That's skin walking Jane. Yeah.
Oh man, I saw this video on
Okay.
I know most of it
Jane?
was fake about skinwalkers. Oh, it freaked me the fuck out. Like the dogs and stuff that were pretending
yeah.
to be dogs, but they're really
Yeah.
skinwalkers. Did
Dude.
not care for that at all.
It's. I mean, the legends go back thousands of years.
See, a few
Maybe
years ago,
millions.
Jane and I were allegedly in the same state for like at least a 24-hour period,
Yeah.
but she miraculously had to leave for the airport early for a flight, and we weren't able to go out to
How
lunch. So I'm not
convenient.
sure
I
if
still am
she's
not.
real.
I thought she would be in or New Orleans in 2022. Did I go? And she couldn't go. I think something
Mhm.
happened.
Oh,
I got
Well,
to
I
meet
get
some
it. I
cool
get why
people.
she blew you off, but
Yeah,
my
I would
gosh,
too.
for it to be
I would too.
Tina.
I'm not pro gray, but I'm pro fray. Can I get a high five? No, you can't. Okay. They killed Graywin. I don't forgive them. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know. I find it I understand why Trump, because these were massive voices that helped him get elected. But I'm a little voice that tried to get him elected. I guess, I want these
mhm.
files. I want to see if I believe them. Some of those files crisscross with Ghislaine Maxwell or Ghislaine or whatever her name is. Like, so they
Somebody else
can't
that was charged and sent to prison for a crime that has to involve other people.
other people, right? Yet you can't release the files that are part of her case. I don't think, like, because she might be like, going for, okay, she's what do they call it when you
Appeal?
appeal? Thank you. I'm an idiot tonight. Yeah, well, her father, if you know who Ghislaine Maxwell's father is, it goes down there. Fear of FEMA. What a great name. This is the first real L for Trump. The way they did it,
Uh,
I would
yeah.
say, let's see what happens in the next couple days. But I feel like the
Mhm.
way if this is what we're getting,
Yeah.
it's stuff that's already been out.
So what I heard was basically that when she got in there,
Oh
she
yeah,
was
about the whole
overwhelmed with how much was sent, and they want to make sure that there's no victim names. They're trying to, so it's taking time to
right.
go through it and make sure that they're not being
So
doxxed or
they're
whatever. Or
redacted, right?
yeah, the
Yeah.
victims. Yeah, not
Hopefully it's
everybody
just
else.
yeah.
Yeah, and so and then I heard something. I don't know how true this is. That somebody in New York, some part of the New York bit of this whole thing is like withholding a ton of fucking information
No,
from the
say that.
FBI.
Oh no, his new appointee. That's what they're saying. That Cash Patel is holding it.
No. I know this was somebody else.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know how. Yeah, it was the SSPSCISPOC in New York, something like that. But
Um,
I forgot what
you
it is.
said
Anyway,
try to say that
yeah,
again. I mean, just see
I
what
don't
you
know
get.
what it is. I can't
Okay.
remember. But there's some part of it that's keeping it. I mean, Cash Patel hasn't even been there long enough to withhold shit.
Right. Right.
He doesn't even have his new screensaver on the computer. It still says the
Mhm.
old director's name.
It probably
That's a
does.
reference to Severance if you've been watching that show, which is awesome.
I just found out I could watch it from a thing I have, so I'm gonna try to check that out.
It's awesome.
Let's see what we got here though. Would you mind reading, Tina? Because my
Oh, sure enough. I would
thank
be
you.
happy to.
All right, let me see if I need to blow it up one more, maybe. See how that looks. All right, let's try that. I hate these stupid recommendation things. Why won't it go away? All right. There we go.
Alrighty. Attorney General Pam Bondi sent a fiery letter to FBI Director Kash Patel on Thursday, accusing federal investigators in New York of withholding thousands of pages of Jeffrey Epstein documents she has vowed to make public. Bondi said she had requested the full Epstein case file before Patel was confirmed as head of the FBI and received about 200 pages of files, far less than.
Sorry. Bonnie's 60 years old.
Yes,
Yeah,
She looks so young. Is she using the that getting it from
the
children? What do they call
chrome,
that?
the
adrenochrome.
adrenochrome. Yeah, if she is,
Just open YouTube.
Yeah, and if she was, it would definitely change my mind. Like, fuck those kids. That's how good it works.
How do I get some?
Real quick. She was born in 1965.
Shut up.
That's insane.
Yep, she's 6 years older than I am.
I'm sorry, I meant to do this. Thank you, Jane. Jane Theory for $2. Bondi has the files on her desk per her words. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. All right. Where are we? Right here?
Alrighty. We are
Why is this thing in the middle? I'm going back down one. Sorry.
That's no problem.
Right.
Bondi said she had requested the full Epstein files case file before Patel was confirmed as head of the FBI and received about 200 pages of files, far less than the number of pages released last year in a civil lawsuit connected to Ghislaine Maxwell, the trafficker's former lover and convicted accomplice. I repeatedly questioned whether this was the full set of documents responsive to my request and was repeatedly assured by the FBI that we had received the full set of documents, Bondi wrote. Late yesterday, I learned from a source that the FBI field office in New York was in possession of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Epstein.
So exactly what you said. Almost. Yeah, this is the problem. There are so many files. Like for JFK, they're finding files in different field offices that did different work. So like, why didn't you just wait? Just hold off a little longer. Like he feels like he needs these automatic political wins, and they're not helping him right now. I don't know. What'd you say?
I was going to say, I mean, it's probably because people are impatient now, very impatient. So you know what I mean? I don't think people are patient enough to wait for them to put it together and all that.
Right. Well, when you have one side preaching, he's been in office for 4 days and egg prices are still up. Yeah. Like people start. Yeah. It's that TikTok, Instagram, like X mindset, like news. I want it now. I want it now. I want something different. Yeah, she can go get it. She is the DOJ. You're right. No excuses at all. And release what you have. Look, move fast and break things, Elon. I like that.
I love that.
But it's let's see if she has anything else. That dude just I want to punch him. But he's dead.
He's got that creepy look to him.
He really did.
So Ms. Bondi said the FBI had never disclosed the existence of those files and demanded they be turned over by Friday morning. In her letter to Patel, quote, by 8 a.m. tomorrow, February 28th, the FBI will deliver the full and complete Epstein files to my office, including all records, documents, audio and video recordings, and materials related to Jeffrey Epstein and his clients, regardless of how such information was obtained, Bondi wrote. There will be no withholdings or limitations to my or your access.
I mean, she has a very valid point. Like she should see everything. Okay. You are the DOJ. You're the head of the DOJ. You should have access to everything. She's like, I've received approximately 200 documents. There's so much more. Like what they sent is probably what we've already seen. I don't think there's anything new because we would have heard about it by now. But yeah. All right. We're going to leave it at that. The new director wrote that the Bureau is primed for a new era. So yeah, we hope that this happens. He seems the type that is willing to make a big change with the FBI and go back to what they're supposed to be doing. Not, just going after, I don't know, people who pray and people who, I don't know, want to
Don't pay
save.
their
Yeah,
taxes.
yeah. Stuff like that. Like instead, maybe against trafficking rings and threats to our nation within the borders.
The
I
taxes
don't
was directly related because of me.
Yeah, I didn't want to like put you on front. I got what you meant.
Why? I've said it before. I ain't paid my taxes in years. Fuck that. That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
I'm a
That is how
citizen of
they
the
get
world. Me and Wesley Snipes.
you. Yeah, the egg prices are up because, well, Jane, I don't even really believe that either. Yes, in part because of this bird flu, but like
But they
during
culled
Biden,
millions of birds
yes,
as a result of the bird flu. So
yeah, they killed millions. But even before that, like I don't know if people kept up on it. We talked about it on our streams. Every few months, one of like these uh distributing bird factories would go up in flames. Like they were priming us not to have supply of chicken and eggs by the time Trump got into office. It's my conspiracy. I get it. But yeah. Yeah. Does Edwin pay taxes, Scott? Edwin pays for nothing. Okay. Edwin, I don't like talking about Edwin that much, but Edwin does not pay nothing. Edwin is the type that will just, I don't know. So, hey everybody, welcome to this dump. What a gay name. It wishes it was gay, actually. Yeah, that's Edwin, everyone. Spelled EDCO. If you don't know, now you know.
Speaking of Edwin, did you see that quote unquote woman who tried to vandalize the Tesla dealership?
No.
Yeah,
Find
and
it?
it was just a fucking man.
Find it,
Yeah, I'll
please.
find it.
Please.
They caught her with like all
Edwin,
kinds of shit too. He was making multiple trips to there. He was bringing more shit.
so yeah, please find it. Edwin is the reason why aliens avoid Earth. I actually think partially certain to any alien that likes to probe is scared of Edwin because Edwin will probe.
We'll
back.
probe you back.
Yeah, 100-fold. What's up, Liam? Do the Greys lay eggs?
I don't think
And
so.
us,
well,
maybe.
according to Stargate, they don't. They clone, but they're having problems with not having enough genetic diversity,
I still think
and
the
that's why they
Greys.
were dying.
I still think the Greys may be us way in the future coming back because of reasons like that.
Huh.
Mhm.
You want to read it?
You can read it because I can't see that.
A woman in Colorado has been arrested after police caught her with explosives at a Tesla dealership.
Oh my, that's a
Now,
woman? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It's so
A
the
wo-
community notes are great though.
Let's see him.
The picture shows a man and the headline states that it is a woman. The announcement by local police doesn't state is a woman or a trans woman. No mention of being transgender or identifying as woman. This is anyway. And
Yeah.
then,
So
yeah.
weird. Dude, that's so weird that the police would do that. Like, aren't we past that? Shouldn't we know the biological, like if this person's a threat? Like let's say this person got away and they're telling us to be on the lookout for a woman.
I'm cool with it, man, because that just makes like women look more violent and crazy as they are. You know what I mean? Because it's always,
Mhm.
oh, men are so violent, blah blah blah. No, it's y'all now. You got her.
Yeah.
That's your people. It's not hard.
Let's see. I'm gonna go to my bookmarks. We got it on X. We got a couple things we can look at. One of my favorite ones right now. And I responded to this one, but I didn't bookmark my answer. I'll just let you guys know my answer. Don Lemon said that Michelle Obama is much better looking than Melania Trump.
Yeah.
Thoughts. My thoughts on that were he's gay.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. I love it when gay men or women try to tell me who is attractive and who isn't.
Yeah. Of like the sex they don't like.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Big Mike. You're definitely gonna like Big Mike. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff in here. So I started following. Oh, I don't even have that up. I'm sorry. Did I not have that up that whole time I was talking about it?
Yes.
Okay,
You
that's
did
what I
not.
was talking about. Right there, Don Lemon. I just freaking butchered that.
I honestly I don't find either one attractive
Yeah.
because Melania. I mean, At her age, I mean, she's had a lot of work.
Yeah, she's definitely
Mhm.
more elegant. You know, she carries herself more like a woman.
Uh,
She
Mhm.
does.
I
Like,
guess.
except for the Carmen
She's a
Sandiego outfit.
model.
Yeah,
She's a model, so I mean, she obviously was taught the proper way to, compose herself,
yeah,
and uh, she's always had the money to dress well, where
yeah,
Michelle only got money after her husband came into office.
right. And, you know, she like, Melania, her story is pretty impressive from, like, a poor, Eastern European nation, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, and taught herself or learned, a couple languages. Like, she's not a dumb person, and the way the media treated her last time, it's nice to see her not taking garbage from them this time, like suing The View because of things they've said. Like, good for her.
Mhm.
Like, come on. Michelle was a lawyer. She had more money than Obama. Yeah, she did. You're right. Big Mike. Confirmed. Marby Dog confirmed. Um, but yeah, so I've been this guy right here, at Deja Vu 2U2 is name is King Milk Fart Harassment Archive.
So we
So
know it's legit.
yeah, dude, been going back and forth with the guy. He's just archiving that side of it. So let's talk about before we look at some of this stuff.
What is the archiving shit about Michelle Obama?
No. We're going now into the hate
Oh,
group
okay. All
of
right.
ufology or
Got it.
UFO. These guys, I've heard about this for many years. Um, Before like Ancient Aliens, it was going on, but like it's a small community at the time. It's gotten bigger, but the people that actually make a living off of it are very catty, even more than catty towards each other. They can be downright vicious, trying to disprove other people, discredit other people. So in about 2008, 2009, no, 2010, I think Elizondo, and the whole, Academy to the Stars with, the dude from Blink 182, came out. They were going to show us proof that there was alien life and UFOs. After a while, Lou and a bunch of others left that project, and Lou ever since has been a voice for disclosure and, um, government, uh, honesty with that stuff. But no matter what, you're going to get people that think he's a government plant, and you're going to get people that think he's being honest. The people on the plant side feel like Lou, doesn't have never gives you any real evidence, because he always has to go back to, um, those DNRs, right? DNRs? That's when you can't.
Do not resuscitate.
Yeah, no, that's do not resuscitate.
Are you talking about the
What are the ones that you sign when you can't talk about what you've done at work? Um,
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about. I can't believe I just
Can you hear me?
no, you went away for a while. Okay, you're back.
NDAs, non-disclosure
NDAs.
agreement.
Yeah, not DNRs. DR. Yeah, you know what I mean. NDAs. Um, But there's even more people that believe he's actually been the kind of kingpin of attacking people in the UFO community using these other you Twitter space people, YouTubers to really go after people in the community that do not agree with them, almost in a cult like idea. Now, I don't know. Look, I really don't know as much as I probably should to talk about the subject. So I'm just going to say I don't have proof of that, but there are many people that have said, because he once said, like, we need to, destroy this community and build it back up. Meaning, like, there's so much infighting. This is how I took it. There's so much infighting, and there's so much that we're not working together. People are working against each other to disprove each other instead of let's go after the real, you know, objective of disclosure. Um, but there are many people that feel he has a group of people, and one of them is this guy. He's Deja Vu's archiving King Milkfart, who is no longer He's banned on X right now. And they have a lot of evidence that they really do dox people, put pictures of their kids up on the
Now,
internet,
who's
their
they?
house. There's like a group of like 300 people that I don't know if they call themselves the hate group, the UFO hate group, or that's what they've
That would
been.
be weird if they
Yeah,
called
right?
themselves that.
But I haven't found a name for them, but there is this private Discord that has about 300 people that people have said, allegedly that Lou Elizondo is not a UFO guy. If anybody knows his history, he is an intelligence guy, counterintelligence, things like that. He was moved to APRO, I think it was, or the agency that was overseeing UAPs. But they're trying to say that the group he is a part of is teaching people how to do counterintelligence, how to hack. I mean, it's really, I mean, if it's true, it's like, you should go to jail for shit like this. But like there is a podcast called, and it was Soul Assassin who was the first to bring this to my attention. And I believe it's Down the Rabbit Hole, where she covers UFO, topics and news. And recently, and it's a well-known podcast in that group.
Spear. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Spear. Thank you. And she literally, well, I'll play what she said. Hold on. This one, right? Nope.
Was that the done on mine or y'all's?
What's that?
All right, it was on mine.
This one right
To an
here.
end. And this podcast, all good things must come to an end.
Now, I don't know Red Panda, but I did ask when we look at the other footage about the allegations. King, what was his name? King what? It blows me every time I have to say it. King
Milford.
King
Milford.
Milford Archives allowed me. He said I couldn't show his video because he's the one that put it together. So,
You talking about that long ass video?
Yeah, we're not going to watch.
And this podcast and the international
you ought to ask him if I
community
can
that has
fucking
sprung up
edit it, make it watchable.
Yeah, I mean, he probably would like to. He seems like a nice guy. So watch with the mean words.
around
I
it
apologize.
has been a very
normally
good
I will
thing.
ask, like, do we like this guy or not before we talk about him?
He seems like an open guy who just wants to get this out because people have been really hurt. People have
I
been messed up.
apologize for
Yeah,
being
no,
aggressive
you don't
against
have
him.
to
I'm a little
apologize.
tired.
Yeah, it's all right.
His video put me to sleep. I had to wake myself up.
I put it
be
at
here.
1.25 and I was able to enjoy it a bit more.
It's been one of the best things in my life, which is why it's hard to actually say the words that this episode will be the last episode of the UFO rabbit hole. I made the case on this podcast more than once that what we were witnessing was an unprecedented movement led by brave patriots within the military intelligence apparatus that were putting everything on the line, even their lives, to bring UFO disclosure to the public.
Okay, so she, like Grush, Lou Elizondo, I think it's Dr. Fisher, all these people that went up at hearings, she has defended, she's spoke highly of them, but like it just takes with this group, like they could attack me after this just for me bringing up the topic against this guy. That's how it seems. Like not even people that have streams or podcasts, they go after people that respond to X posts the wrong way, the wrong thing. It's to me, if that is true, it's a cult like thing. Like if you don't follow us exactly, we're going to destroy you.
I don't believe that anymore. Most, if not all, of what we've seen on the disclosure front since 2017 has been theater, designed and acted out with those core objectives in mind. I'm going to commit the highest form of heresy that one can commit in this field. I'm going to say the thing that everyone knows is objectively true, but that no one is allowed to say, which is this. The disclosures that we've gotten from whistleblowers so far have come from known, and in most cases current, members of the intelligence community. Most, if not all of them, still hold high-level security clearances and still work, whether directly or as contractors for the DoD or for aerospace defense companies. In many cases, it's both. And the information shared with us by those whistleblowers is the information that has been approved by the DoD through DOPSR. The fact that it's so controversial to even acknowledge these basic truths is because the disclosure narrative is doing exactly the things that it's supposed to do. It's getting people invested in a story and in personalities that they want to believe in enough to not just overcome cognitive dissonance, but to deputize them to help further this narrative. If you want to see how absolute and insidious the narrative control is, just try this little experiment. Log on to Reddit or X and try posting a direct quote about Lou Elizondo, in his own words, from his own book, explaining that he was recruited into OSAP by James Lukatsky to run counterintelligence for the program, without adding any further commentary, and see how that goes for you.
No, I haven't done that yet.
I'm not going to. And again,
Yeah.
this is not machismo.
Right. But if what she's about to say is true, I mean, that is a campaign to silence people on X. Here we go.
Left the Department of Defense, ironically enough, to finish the very mission they gave me in the first place. I didn't ask for it. I'm not a UFO guy. I'm not a ufologist. I never have been. I never will be. I'm a counterterrorism and counterespionage guy. I do counterintelligence, counterinsurgencies. That's what I do. And it just so happens that in 2008, I was asked to apply those same skill sets into the UFO community.
It's a fact about Lou that we only know because he told us, and yet no one is allowed to say it, much less raise any kind of legitimate questions about what it might actually mean, because those are questions that no one really wants to know the answer to. I'm no longer willing to overlook the glaring evidence that the disclosure narrative, at least as it's been presented to the public, is largely a fabrication. When you look at what's happening objectively, I think that's hard to deny. And though I'll admit to experiencing a significant amount of disillusion and weathering a long series of dark nights of the soul over that realization, I ultimately don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I could wax poetic for hours about the different ways to read this situation, how the tangled web of alliances, agendas, and competing interests could explain why things have unfolded the way that they have without requiring that everyone involved be a mustache-twisting villain.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, that's all speculation. The truth is, I don't actually know what's going on, and neither do you, and that's the point. Whatever the disclosure movement is, whatever teams the various experts and whistleblowers ultimately play for, this is not a game that we get to play. We don't even get to know the rules. We're just spectators watching a performance where we have no way of knowing who's actually pulling the strings. And frankly, I wouldn't even want to. I've seen enough at this point to know that there are aspects of this that are very dark, very disturbing, and absolutely dangerous for anyone who wanders too close.
I mean, some of this stuff is grotesque that they say and try to imply about her.
Believe that it's possible
Come
to
back
get real
later
answers
and
from these
pause it.
people anyways,
Ugh.
so why would I
Christ,
bother?
dude.
To be honest, I'm just no longer interested.
You know, and that's sad. It's sad that someone who had a dedicated following on her podcast was attacked. I mean, viciously. People saying they're going to release her address, making photos of her with like a dead, little one in her hand. Like, it's just, there are some sick, deranged people out there. And it seems that this one group makes these people feel like they're in the know and they're involved in something important, and that we have to stop these people that don't agree with us when it comes to UAPs and UFOs.
It's almost as if you're describing, we'll say a hypothetical group that goes by a letter. We'll hypothetically say is Q, right?
Mhm.
Because they're made to feel special hypothetically,
Right.
and that they are in on the end, and they have knowledge that others don't because they've been cooking the breadcrumbs and all this other dumb shit
Right.
hypothetically.
And the thing is, I believe our chat is a smart chat. We're intelligent enough people that, like, I think Gene might have just said something like about voting for Trump. Like, I voted for him, but I'm not blinded by like everything he does is perfect.
Yeah,
know,
no,
um,
I've never owned a Trump hat.
Yeah, and I think this right here, what Jane says, she voted Trump. However, I am critical of all elected officials,
Yep.
all of them. I completely, and we as people, as the nation, as we the people, need to keep them accountable. We are the ones that have dropped the ball in the last ever. I think it's maybe since Kennedy was assassinated, and that whole era of turmoil and up into and through Carter, it then became we just took it at face value, and we would talk amongst ourselves. Yeah, I don't believe him, but no one spoke out against it. And with the emergence of podcasts, YouTube, Rumble, all these things where people actually have a voice, I think that it's a responsibility we must do. Even if I definitely voted for Trump over Biden, or Biden and Kamala. I felt like they were taking our country down a route that was dangerous, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to keep an eye on what he's doing too. It's smart to be like that, to be the type that doesn't believe everything you're told.
Yeah, trust but verify.
I live by that, dude. I'm an electrician by trade, and you trust but verify. Hey, did you turn this off? Yeah. I'm gonna check so I don't get 480 volts, up my ass. Why is it in my ass? I don't know. Gap says, of course, we should be critical of all elected officials. I'm down with that. Brian says, no one is perfect. Never trust government, no matter who is in charge. That's what our founding fathers told us. Like, they built this so we're not supposed. The Second Amendment is for a reason. It's because they knew after a certain period, government's going to try to corrupt something, and it gives us the right to stand up against a tyrannical.
More so is all the
States
checks and
government.
balances where one doesn't
Yes.
hold all the power, whether
Right.
it's the legislative or the judicial or the executive, what have you. They're
Right.
all supposed to keep each other in check, but over the past 40, 50 years,
Even
so much
longer.
power has been put into the executive that
Yeah.
there's an unbalance
But not
between
even the executive, not even the president, who is the only person that's elected by the whole country.
right.
It's
That's
the
why I said the
people that
executive,
work
like the
for him.
branch.
Yeah, the branch itself got so big, and these lifelong bureaucrats that aren't elected don't respect. Like, the president can't go in and just fire everybody. Like, hey, I don't want you. You guys were all from the last. I can't fire you all.
Right.
Their jobs are protected. And because of that, these people have pretty much pushed our democracy in a direction that's it's run by unelected officials.
Right. And because the way that the federal government employee, like all that system works, their unions are very strong. It's very hard to get someone fired. So, and if you're not elected into that position, you have little fear. That's why they are freaking out about, like, you're gonna ask me 5 things that I did last week? Make shit up. Nobody's gonna know.
Yeah. I watched one woman's response, and she literally made it to seem like it was the beginning of a fascist,
Yeah.
like, dude, if my boss tells me to do something, I better freaking do it, unless it's a safety concern. And even
Yeah.
then, I might have to still do it,
Yeah, there was a lady that called into the Breakfast Club radio
Mhm.
thing,
Mhm.
and she was like, "I think it's a great opportunity to show them how productive you've been, because rather than getting fired, what if they promote you?
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is the opportunity for you to directly tell your boss all the to brag
This
about
is
yourself, and
right.
he's
This is
asking
what
for
I
you to
do.
brag."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
He's
you don't get
looking
a lot of those
for
opportunities.
that email will tell him multiple things. One, you're not a team player if you don't respond. But also, two, the people that are willing to say, this is what I do and I take pride in it, like, I have done this, like, he might find new gems. But there's so many of these people that they have just been protected in this cushy job. Even during Trump's first
Yeah.
administration, they were working against
Mhm.
him, and he at the time didn't do anything about it.
So, Jane's right about, some of what they do is confidential, yes, and that would be a concern if they were sending it to the public, but it's not even going to Elon, it's going to the head of those departments,
Mhm.
who should already be read in on what it is that they're doing
Right.
if it's secret and they don't need it to be public, it's not gonna be public, it's going to your department head. So
Yeah.
there, even that really isn't an excuse, like, "Well, what I do is top secret," you know.
Right. And
Right,
it was some of the department heads that told
for
them not to
HR.
do it.
I thought it was supposed to go to the directors, the head of the department, not human resources. Fuck them. They shouldn't know shit. They have nothing to do with
No.
what we do. All they need to know is if whether or not I put a, not me, sorry, if whether or not somebody put a pubic hair on the top of a Coke. That's all they need to be concerned about. They shouldn't be concerned about what we do.
Oh, that was the correction she said. At
Oh,
first
okay.
it wasn't. But I still believe there was people who didn't want to do. I mean, you know, you're going to get people like that, and I understand this
Yeah, the
whole
ones that don't have anything to put on that email.
right, right, and literally what he's doing is what he did with X. I mean, I don't know if I agree with everything he's doing, but I do want him to go in and tell me where our money's going. I mean, was it like 4.1 or 7 trillion just missing? They can't figure out what happened when like,
That happens.
you know, it's a big country. It's a big country.
It's basically the equivalent to like, man, where did I put that dollar? I had it in my wallet. Did I keep it in my wallet? Same thing, just at a bigger
Right.
scale.
And I think we've
Rounding
gotten,
error, transposition, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
yeah, and we've gotten to a point where there's one party that is still saying the right things. You have to be skeptical about the Republicans. You got to be skeptical about everybody. But we were just in an era where the left literally said the Constitution's wrong. We should have limitations on the First Amendment. The Second Amendment, we should like. They literally didn't hide it anymore. They just came right out and were like, "No, there's things that shouldn't be allowed just because of the Constitution."
Biden tried adding an amendment to the Constitution over Twitter.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
With that nonsense. You know it
Yeah.
wasn't him. It was some 20-year-old fucking assistant or aide that has control of the Twitter account that tried
Yeah.
to put that shut up.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Pentagon lost trillions. Thank you. Gap says 5 things I did last week. One was walk through the door of my employer. 2, I said I sat down. 3, I booted up my computer. 4, I did a bunch of instructed work. And 5, I left the building to go home. Bam, you're done.
I don't think
Pentagon
this
lost
work. I would go more with like I streamlined different tasks into a more equitable form.
right.
I
Right.
I collaborated with several fellow co-workers.
Right. Really,
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
bullshitting about a TV show, but you can figure your way out, you know?
Yeah, of course, man. It's like when I
Um,
was a cop, when we would say, you know, I assisted the individual to the ground using the minimum amount of force necessary. But
Right.
in reality, it was us picking him the fuck up and slamming him on the goddamn asphalt because he was starting to fight us. But that's
Yeah.
not how you write it up. You know, one of the first things I learned was if you can articulate, you can get away with pretty much anything. But then
Yeah.
they put body cameras and shit.
It's so nuts, dude. It's so nuts. Those body cameras.
But even
looking
as a
after
cop, though, we
people.
had to keep a log, a patrol log of
Right.
everything that we did. Now, we would bullshit a lot of it. Oh, ran traffic, right, at this intersection or whatever. When we were like, I'm just watching Netflix on my tablet.
Yeah. You know, like working for the government or a company that is contracted by the government or whatever, like a lot of it is redundant, dumb
Yeah.
things to prove that you're like, really to just justify how many employees they have in that department. It got
Yeah,
to a
people-
point though, it didn't matter anymore. They just kept stuffing these departments. I mean, the government is massive. I don't want to see anybody lose their job, but like the
There's a few
government's
people.
just too big. It's too
Yeah.
big, you know, and
They need to cut down HR. I'm not a fan of HR.
not a
Hate
fan
it.
of HR either. Maybe
I would
those
appreciate
DEI.
if HR stayed exactly the way they were because it's pretty much my life. So,
Okay, your HR, fine.
Man, it got to a point to where I wasn't even allowed to talk to supervisors or the HR without the vice president of our union, not
Mhm.
not just one of the reps, you know, not just
The
a regular
VP.
guy. Yeah, because
Yeah.
his name was Harris. He was the only guy that could kind of keep me in check because I would let my mouth get me in trouble sometimes because I'd tell him
Yeah.
what's up,
Yeah.
like it wouldn't hold back.
Yeah. Oh
Like
man.
I told one HR guy that lions don't what's the line about sheep, right? Lions don't concern themselves with the opinion of sheep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because he was trying to give me advice on something. I was like, no, you don't know what I do, bro. We don't do the same thing.
No, it's a big difference.
And
Yeah.
Harris was like, Jesus Christ, Mad, because that's your name. That's what I'm going to call you.
What's up? Oh, Dr. Anonymous colleague. They already did a briefing on the email to government employees. It is a pulse check. Yeah. To see if
Yep.
people respond with anything. Absolutely. It's suspected there's people getting paid that don't work there. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's true
don't do
too.
anything. Yeah. That's a huge
Yeah,
thing.
that would be awesome, dude, if I could get that gig.
Oh man, I know I had a job doing technology sales. I won't say for who, but it was like government contracts. And this was towards the end of my massive drug running days. And not running, taking.
Okay,
And
yeah, I
what
was about to say, hold on now.
yeah,
This
I
is
didn't run them.
something
No,
is brand new
I ran
information
them
coming.
into my nose or mouth.
Okay, that was a Tina level reveal.
Yeah. No, but
Like, this isn't a Sun in our podcast. What are you talking about?
no. But our quota every day was 50 phone calls, like 3 hours of talk time.
Uh-huh.
So I found like 8 to 10 numbers. If you called, it would just keep repeating the recording, and I would just let them run, and just
Wow.
I did nothing. Nothing.
Oh,
Like
that's awesome.
those people were so good to me. I got to give them credit. They were so good to me because when I finally got caught out, I was at home doing this. And
Yeah.
when we met up at a conference place in New Hampshire, and they're like, "So Scott, we've been really looking at your stuff, blah 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 blah," and I was just like, "Yeah, I don't do anything. I'm a drug addict and I need help." And they literally let me go to because they have to let me go to rehab. Came back, still let me have the job. I tried out of a sober house. Kind of hard when you only rent a room to do that job, but they literally let me set up my company computer, dual screen, all this stuff in a sober house where there are some people
Wow.
with mental health issues. And I was just after a month, I was like, "Yeah, I'm done. Can I
Yeah.
collect if I leave?" And they were like, "Yeah, we'll let you collect." I'm like, "Thanks."
You don't need the monitors or anything back, do you? Because I already
Yeah, I
sold
was like,
those.
I already sold that shit.
Oh, you did? I was just
No,
guessing.
no. I did.
Uh,
No.
well, real quick, speaking of
Yes.
anonymous people, Tuesday we're gonna be on EPAP. We are going to be talking about communicating with ghosts. And when I was telling the girlfriend this, she was like, "Oh, Ouija boards, that shit is evil." And she started telling me how it. I stopped her. I was like, no. You have to save this because you're coming on next Tuesday. So she'll be with us
Awesome.
because she's
Awesome.
like, yeah. And then it spelled out eat pussy. I'm like, stop there. I don't want to know any more about
Yeah.
this until the stream. That's all I need to
Oh, I
know that you were coming on.
have a crazy Ouija board like experience in like 8th grade. It was
EPEP has been
crazy.
scaring me.
Ooh.
What was that? EPAP has been scaring me down here. All right. Jane says, "What a nonsense explanation. What if people are on vacation, sick leave?" Yeah, but that would be taken into consideration. I would hope that they would report a vacation. That's why they didn't do it. What Look, there are a lot of people that after 2020 never came back. Like they
Yep.
never came back to the office. And they were reported to come back and they never did. And it's like what is that? Office Space? I'm a people person. There's a lot of redundancy and shit like that.
Yeah, and I mean, it, there's no excuse for not returning back into the office. I mean, if you have to scan your badge when you're walking into a building, you can go in there and pick up a pack of like printer paper or,
Mhm.
Rema printer paper, turn around and walk back out to your car and drive home. And I've been in the office for once that week.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, there's ways to get around it.
I don't know why we were considered essential, but I worked through the whole thing. It was awesome. Ghost, fake crap. No, dude. No.
Yeah,
No,
you're
I've had
assuming the
experiences.
angle that the story is going to be taking.
Yeah. I've had experiences with ghosts. Like 2 different times. Once on a battlefield at Gettysburg at dawn, and the other time my buddy Kevin and his brother Keith's house, literally holding the remote control, the only remote control, because I've been to their house a million times, and like the TV would start just changing, and they always told us they had like a little kid ghost, and like
You're an electrician.
yeah,
Sorry, go on.
but it would start changing, and they would scream at the kid and would stop, and I didn't believe him at first because I was Bullshit. This is bullshit. And then I walked up the stairs once and I looked down the hallway and a thing ran through a closed door, through the hallway, through another closed door, laughing. That's the
That's
Really,
cool. See,
real
see,
quick,
the house
look,
I grew up in, the house I grew up in was haunted.
yeah. I don't
So
doubt it.
that was
wait,
totally a thing.
here's what bothers me about your story is when you
Yeah.
said they said, "Yeah, we got a kid ghost." You've not burnt this motherfucker down yet?
Yeah, well, that's what I
Why do
said.
white people do this shit?
They're
Why do y'all
stupid.
stay?
They were stupid. Like
Burn it down.
we were camping in Boy Scouts. I was 12 or 13 on a Gettysburg battlefield. I got up at dawn to go take a piss. There was the field. Now, 50,000 people died one day on this field.
Yeah.
Over the whole thing, a lot. And there's like a mist that was about 1.5 feet high covering the whole field. It was gorgeous. And then all of a sudden, I saw from like knee up people like marching, like all tired, and then like a horse with a guy on it, all like I thought it was Confederate, but I don't know, uniforms just marching across the field. And I like literally sat there and stared, looked away, looked back, and I ran, zipped.
Yeah.
I almost pulled beans above the Frank, dove back in the tent, begging them to like, let's just go home now.
Yes.
I had to sleep there one more night.
Yeah, like fire to the field and go. And by the way, Jane, it's not me being racist against white people. It's about trying to look. You got to embrace your whiteness and not put yourself into situations where white people die. I.e., like, I don't mess with animals I don't know. I don't get in the water. I don't check out strange noises at night. And I sure as shit. Look, did I ever tell you?
That?
So,
What's up, lovely?
a long time ago, right? I lived with a couple guys, and one night I was watching one of the Conjuring movies, and as I'm going to sleep, I heard something above me, like inside the roof or whatever, right? And it sounded like a penny that you're scratching across a hardwood floor. And so I sat up. I said, "Look, I'm not the one. You either stop fucking around or I will burn this to the ground and you'll be haunting a pile of ash and rubble by the time I'm done." And it stopped. I'm like, cool. I guess we're cool now, right?
Right.
The next day I'm taking a shower and the entire shower like pipe and shit came out the wall towards me. Turned off the water, got out the shower, didn't even wash the shampoo out of my hair. Put my clothes on and I left the house. Came back a couple hours later. I'm walking up, my roommate's coming out. He's like, "Hey man, we got to do something about these raccoons that are in the wall." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, dude, I was taking a shower and they're hitting the pipes and the shower head's coming at me and shit. Why do you have a can of gas?" I'm like, "Oh, this unrelated."
Unrelated.
So raccoons, huh?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Not the point
dude,
though. I was ready. I was gonna burn it to the ground. I don't fuck
Right.
with that shit.
The point was you were setting it on fire.
Yeah. The girlfriend knows if she sees me walking out with my Xbox and PC. Well, the PC's too big. If I'm walking out with that in both arms, she should come with me.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I would. You're terrifying. But you know what? You're honest, so that's important. Soul wants us to know. I had a witch in my family. She was a very evil woman that when she died, the family kept her house location secret so nobody can find it. Had a lot of things buried in her yard too.
You had a Bruja in your family?
Yeah.
I say this because he's in San Antonio, so I know it's more than likely a Bruja.
Did you ever hear the story about a guy who was on a pirate ship and him and his buddy swam to Texas? And then once, still one of my favorite moments, dude. What was that powder? The red powder?
Vermilion? Yeah, bro, you got to keep the vermilion on you. You never know when you're going to need it.
Might keep ghosts away too. We don't know.
Yeah, you come across a Bruja and you're just going to put a spell, but like, "Can I interest you in some vermilion?"
Guys, make sure you check out that video. What's the name of the video?
Hugh Glass, man. That was episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1 we did on Mad's new channel.
Yep.
It's awesome.
We're
I wasn't very
episode
good,
7.
but yeah, I was.
No, you were good. You were good. You
I
were
feeling tired.
Yep.
Took a photo and my grandpa was standing behind me in our old house.
No. I hope that
Grandpa-
house no longer exists.
Grandpa wasn't alive. You're trying to tell us.
That is
That's-
true. That would be a normal picture with your grandpa.
Yeah, if he was alive, that was just us. You're just telling us that. No, let us know. The Greys are the ghosts in disguise.
See what I'm saying?
I mean, there are people that
Mm.
think ghosts are actually interdimensional beings
Hmm.
that are slipping through space-time.
Right?
So that's why you'll get weird um fathoms or whatever you call them,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
ghosts,
Or
and other
even real
times,
people. Like there was
yeah.
that dude that showed up and he was like, "I'm from this country." And his passport, and they're like,
Oh,
"This
in
country
Japan.
doesn't
Yeah,
exist." No, it
yeah.
was like part
No,
of
he
the.
flew into Japan.
Oh, is that where he flew into? He was from
Yes.
like one of those old USSR countries, but like it, whatever
He
happened on his timeline, it was a new country, but it doesn't exist. And so they brought out a map, and he's like, "What is this country? This is where mine is supposed to be on the map," and it wasn't.
Yeah, the one I'm thinking of,
And then it
the
gets
guy
disappeared.
the guy flew into Japan. The country was like where kind of Portugal, Spain, it was like in that area.
Oh,
And
it could
he's
have been
like, it's
United
been
States.
around for 1,000 years. And they like took him into custody, put
Yeah,
him in a
that's the one I'm thinking
hotel
of.
on like a high level, no way to get out. And the next morning when they opened the door,
Gone.
gone.
Yep.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Whoa.
Okay, okay, that makes more sense about ghosts. Yeah. Um, yeah, I've had experiences after my dad died. I know when my grandfather died, we were very close, my mom's dad. And now it could have been that she was getting the news over the phone while I was like half asleep, half awake, but I don't believe that. I was I was dreaming and he was there, never took me fishing. Well, he took me fishing in the dream. And I was like, "It's beautiful, this is fun." He's like, "Yeah, but I'm gonna have to go." And I was like, "Well, I want to go with you." He's like, "You can't come with me where I'm going right now." He said, "But I'll see you again someday." And I woke up and like a half hour later, my mom came in and told me he passed away.
Wow.
Yeah.
But not that one. Skip that one. It's her.
Okay.
It's that person's next one.
Yeah.
About
yeah.
me. About me. By
Okay.
the way, I never thought
Right
about
here.
that, but I will never have a Ring doorbell because of that. All right, here's
Mad
the deal.
saving. Okay. Let me
Th-
just read it first. Dr. Anonymous colleague, mad saving 3 things: Xbox, computer, TV. Don't worry, the girlfriend will escape easily while he tries to carry all that crap out alone.
Okay, so this is perfect because it just inspired me. I need to get a wagon, one of those little red wagons or something that I can
Yep.
just put my stuff on and just roll the wagon out as I kick the girlfriend in the knee so the ghosts don't get me. Good,
You
Those
perfect.
just
are
have to beat the
absolutely
other.
perfect.
Yeah,
My
you
my
just have
boy
to.
my boys have one in the back of their car for when they would go grocery shopping, going back to the dorm. They kind of truck all their
Yep.
shit in. Works
My
well.
brother and sister had a plan when I was little. They didn't really like me. They had a plan that they would throw all their stuff into my crib, and if I was in there fine, they would try to push it out the window. Second floor. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
would try to young guns it.
Yeah. Young guns it,
Yeah,
exactly.
they were trying to young
Yeah.
gun you.
Yeah. Except a crib's not fitting through a second story raised ranch window.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a show, it's called The Righteous Gemstones, right?
Mhm.
And in one of the episodes, it was
I've heard of it.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was this couple, and these guys were coming to kill him. So they decided, and they were watching Young Guns when it happened. So the dude's like, "All right, I'm gonna put you in this trunk and throw you out so you can." It did not go well because she had a lot of injuries when she finally opened it up.
You think so?
She's like, just got shot. It was
Ro-
great.
Mad tells Sporks about the Donkey Lady Bridge. What?
What?
I read that right. Donkey
Yeah.
Lady Bridge? Okay.
The
Think about that.
Donkey Lady Bridge.
At Jane Theory, but the chick made it look easy in Jurassic World.
That is true.
What's
yeah.
up, Immortal? How you doing, man? Hope everything's
What?
all right.
The Donkey Lady Bridge. That must be
Yeah,
some
give a
San
little-
Antonio thing.
A little more, Soul. A little more. No, I don't want to talk
Oh, okay,
about
yeah.
this.
So it's somewhere I don't know, Soul. This is the first I'm hearing of the Donkey Lady
Okay,
Bridge.
Donkey Lady Bridge by the Toyota plant.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Think about it for a minute. At Sporky News Pocket, I think you're talking about the man from, Torad. You're right. 100%. That is a cool, like he had currency from there, a passport from there with stamps going to other countries that are known. Like it's just one of those things where this guy slipped into our reality and it was just that little bit of a difference. You know, like
No,
that. I
I'm not
find very
I'm
cool.
not fucked if it's a ghost because the ghost will be focused on you and do ghost shit to you, whoever you are.
All I know is this: there is a place in London, a street in London. I think it's like maybe the one that they have like fashion in the 60s, that if you walk down that street, many people have slipped through time to a different era. I just want to hit like 1964 London and try to stay there for a while. Be like, hey guys, I got a great song from you for you four lads from Liverpool. Mad bro, the knee thing only works for zombies. You still fooled if it's a ghost. It's gonna attach itself to you and haunt
Nope.
your ass.
That's not
She has a
no.
point though. They could like
No, not a point.
they could just disappear and reappear in front of you.
One, Jesus will protect me. Two,
Okay, amen. Amen.
two, that ghost is after you. That's your people.
Haunted bridge, ghost of a very deformed woman who was killed in a fire. She'll chase your car and sounds like hooves when she's runs.
I've
you have
never heard of this.
any-
I will never go near the Toyota factory or any bridge ever again.
Italians had it rough then. Yeah, true. I'd talk to John R.R. Searle. I will check that out, man. John R.R. Searle. All this ghost talk. I know. We were supposed to talk about hate groups and UFOs, but I don't want to get doxxed really that bad.
Right.
And I was going to show some of that video, but it is a lot of people like, you know what? I'll link that post so you can hear it yourself. I did see this other post though. I just want to show real quick. From Human David Hemati, MD, PhD.
Nailed
Just
it.
when you thought at Santa Monica City government could get crazier, after planning to demolish art center, ice skating rink, and massive parking structure for homeless housing, they prove you wrong. Just got an email from city DEI office. City is broke but has one. Priorities: strengthen support for LGBTQ plus residents in the most LGBTQ plus friendly place on earth. Reparations task force for these broke cities to start giving out reparations. And craziest of all, launching a cannabis equity program because marginalized
Marginalized.
community. Yeah, I almost said marijuana. Yeah, marginalized communities face barriers in cannabis. He has a
Can't
point
walk in the
though.
store. They just can't afford the good
No,
stuff.
I think
No,
it's
they're talking
to
about
be able
them
to
starting.
sell
Yeah,
it. And yeah, businesses, because it's hard to
Mm.
get the right to grow and sell.
yeah.
Yeah, reparations,
We,
but
we,
for
ju-
who?
It's
we just got our
it
first weed store in our town.
seems
yeah?
like the barriers are time and effort.
Reparations task force to co-create the city's first reparations program, or by serving as a community.
What Santa
connector.
Monica? Is that what this
Yeah,
place?
yeah.
That wasn't in
Isn't
a slave state.
No, not at all. Was Santa Monica the Lost Boys though? These
No,
efforts. Where was the Lost Boys? It was like near that wacky beach, Venice, right? I don't remember now. I thought it was Santa Monica. These efforts reflect our commitment to fostering a city where all residents feel seen, supported, and empowered. But why are you doing reparations?
wasn't that Everclear?
Santa Carla.
Santa Carla.
Yeah, Santa Monica was Everclear.
It's Fleet. Thank you. It's Fleet Street in London. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy, and I think it might have been Bold Street in Liverpool. I'm thinking of, and it would have been like 1962. I wanted to go back to. Yeah, I was thinking of the Liverpool one, not the London one, but I wanted.
You
to
guys want to hear something weird?
I love weird.
I guess referenced Santa Monica by Everclear, and the first line of that song is "I'm still living with your ghost."
Whoa,
Yeah, it's all real.
it's all connected. All connected, dude. Now all they need to say somewhere in there, they're going to burn down a house.
Santa Monica, that was a good song though. I liked Everclear.
Yeah. I have this dude at work who could be maybe I shouldn't say that. Anyways, yeah, I will. He could be a jack off. And he had daddy issues. And so I would try to be respectful and stuff, but he started pissing me off. So anytime the song Father of Mine,
Yeah, Everclear.
I would sing it. And it took him maybe like the fifth time to realize I was doing it to him. And he was literally, I would say, 40 to 50 feet away from me. And he took a paintbrush, like I would say they're like an 18-inch one. They're kind of heavy,
Yeah.
and hucked it at my face, and it went right over my head. I was like,
why?
Because he was angry.
What'd you do to him? Just because you were
I
singing it
sang
to
the
him?
song. Yeah, I work in a. We're like old school, rough and tumble. Like the old saying, "Leave your feelings at the door."
Yeah.
Leave your feeling at the door, because the only feeling you should have is for your children or something like that. I don't know. One thing I never could stomach about living in Santa Carla, all the damn vampires.
Well,
Now,
yeah,
was
but-
Grandpa a vampire, half one, or was he just a vampire hunter? Because he drank that red drink.
Helsing.
No, but the grandpa always had shades on, never really seen
Wait, in
during
the
the
movie?
day. Yeah,
Hmm.
Oh, I never seen this shit.
I always wondered about that.
Yeah, you're right. He did always wear
Oh,
shades.
Big Dav. Now I know who. Okay, you changed your name. I got you now. All right. Jane, aren't you near
Louisiana.
Louisiana? You got vampires there. A lot
They
of
got that
stories.
Cajun vampire bullshit, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
Don't
they
want to
got
mess around with that shit.
the Cajun gay ones now.
Yeah.
New
Down here on the
Orleans is-
bayou.
New
Go ahead.
Orleans is such an amazing place. I was there once when the boys were like 3 years old and 18 months, and so it was forever ago. But there's just something amazing about being there. I don't know if it's like a spiritual thing or whatever, but
You know
I
what I
felt
feel like
so
it is?
at home there or something.
It's an American city that doesn't feel
American?
American. Like it has very
Okay.
cool French and
Yeah.
island there was such I mean, there's a lot of Italians got dropped off there too. Like
Mhm.
they either went to Ellis Island or they went to New Orleans. So it has such a melting pot of a city that I think even the architecture has like that European like vibe. I don't know how to explain it because I've never been there, so I can't really talk. But I will because I talk about everything.
That makes a lot of sense, because I mean, I spent a day in Windsor, and that's it as far as my like travels outside the country.
Mhm.
So so that would make sense. Like I can't compare it to like going to Paris or Italy or anything like that. So
Nope, don't care for it.
Dr. Anonymous colleague really wants to get to know you. Oh, Matt, let's go on a haunted hayride this year.
No
Who
way, you
knows? It
weirdo. I
could
don't
turn
know
into
you.
a real escape room situation. If we get stranded there, we do Rochambeau for whose toe we eat first.
No to
What?
all of that.
Is the hayride go into a factory that's locked down? Like how do you like? I don't know. Like people, I've read stories recently of people that like got lost in Hawaii and like almost died of starvation and stuff. Like, why don't you just start walking in one direction? You're gonna hit the water at some point.
Yeah.
I never understood that. Like, they were walking and like lost for like weeks? Like what? I never understood that.
Yeah, the moss grows on a certain side of the tree, and you know where it is.
Fear of mine. Lovely Sherry. Queen of memes. It was once considered the northernmost part of the Caribbean. I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't trust that
Yeah.
shit. They're like, oh, down here on the bayou, our girls come with a little spice to them.
Yeah. Look.
Anne Rice, oh my gosh. When we went to New Orleans, I practically stalked the woman. I have like all the pictures of the outside of her house. I have a picture of the license plate on her car.
That's not okay.
I would
Yeah,
make
there's-
go to like drive
Should be
past
admitted,
there
yes.
every night we were there.
Mhm,
So just
mhm.
trying to like look through the windows and see if I could catch a picture of her. But it was so cool because a lot of her books take place in her home.
Yeah.
So it was so neat to see in person what I had read thousands of pages about. It was
Did it
really
feel
neat.
like you've envisioned that house? Did she do that well of a job, or did you see it as
Absolutely.
something? Yeah. Wow.
Nope, exactly as I had pictured it. It was so absolutely amazing.
You seem like a respectable stalker. I wouldn't do that.
BRB.
I don't think I would do that to George R. R. Martin. Maybe.
Yes, you would. Shut up.
I might.
You were like, you would search his entire house for pizza boxes with notes like
Just
scribbled on the
any
back
note.
of it.
Yeah, like
Anything.
Yeah, like
You're
John
like, if
never
he's not
coming
gonna
home.
finish it, I'll finish it for him. I'll put all this
dude.
together.
I would.
The
like,
back of like burger
misery.
wrappers.
No, I would just misery his ass. You know, like I wouldn't even have to do the breaking of the. I just put him on his back like a turtle.
You
There
would
you
just
go.
give him that look. What he needs is a female fan to just be around him all the time, just to be like, you get it
Nagging.
done yet? No,
Yeah, yeah.
nothing.
Oh,
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Stephen King
No
would have
reason.
finished the book by now. You know, like something like that.
You know, my ex-boyfriend, he Tom Clancy, I don't know if you ever heard of him,
You
but
ever
he
heard
was
of him?
able to get a lot more
A
of his
lot,
books done.
a
you know?
lot more. You ever hear of Tolkien? Yeah, he
Yeah,
finished.
yeah.
The Anne Rice books. How did you guys feel? Or I watched like the first 2 episodes of their like the series where what is it? What's the main character's name? The Brad
Lestat.
Pitt? No, not Lestat. The other guy.
Oh,
Louis.
Louis.
Yeah, he's like a black man in the 20s, teens. I think. Have you seen that?
Yes. Yeah, for some reason, instead of having him be the slave owner that he was, they had
Mhm.
him actually be a slave, and they
No, he
also
wasn't a
changed.
slave. He was like a pimp. It was like it wasn't the even close to the year. It was like the turn of the 1900s. You know, it was
Oh,
like
gotcha, gotcha.
yeah. So he was like a pimp that ran like the um, I guess the black section of New Orleans at the time. It's a weird. I don't know. I don't know.
I've seen a lot of clips from it, and it looks interesting. I mean, there were a lot of people that told me that it doesn't follow the book very well. So,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I was so enamored by those books. I stopped reading right around the time that because they also did a TV series for Mayfair Witches, which were
Mhm.
tangentially related to the Vampire Chronicles. That both took place in the same time period.
Wait a minute. Which ones?
The Mayfair Witches. Um,
Okay.
there's a series that I think it's also on AMC or whichever channel has the Interview with the Vampire.
Okay, gotcha. I'm stalking George if we don't get the book this year. Jane, let me know. I'll plan a family trip out there and then we will do it together. So then you got like he can't say it was like we like you got a black woman and a white dude. So there's nothing weird about it, you know. We're just coming as fans. Next thing you know, we have him on his back like a turtle and you're talking your smart talk to him and I'm just crying begging that he finishes the books and then we finish it together. No, that was weird. Okay, sorry. Chapters in exchange for clothing? What? Uh look, it's simple. Just wait for Germ to use a public restroom and take all the toilet paper away. Basically got him under lock. I could see Germ being he looks like he's kind of a hippie back in the day. He'd just be like, whatever. I don't know. Small time. Hopefully Martin doesn't get into a car. What are you talking about? Oh, wreck anywhere near where Scott is the rescuer. Yeah, I'm taking him. I'll bring him home to convalesce. No, like, and if he really pisses me off, I'll just let my kids play on the floor next to the bed he's convalescing in. He'll never get rest. There was something else I wanted to talk about.
So when I went to go pee or whatever, the girlfriend is watching shorts of you and Walton going back and forth over subscribers or shit, and
Oh,
she's
that was
like,
a while ago.
I know. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure he's already seen these.
Yeah,
She
it
wanted
was.
me to send
I
it
was.
to you.
I was in them. Some
Well,
of
no,
them.
the one with Walton. She said like you got to make him watch this on. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's aware of this. I think this is an old bit.
Yeah, there is recent ones where Walton's saying I'm gay or something.
Oh, warning you about narcissist.
Well, you have to look out for them because
They're
they will
everywhere.
they'll make you feel like you're the bad guy.
Imagine a ghost narcissist. Imagine one of them come back as a ghost. It would be like his worst nightmare. Like,
Oh my God, he can never get rid of it, but yet in a way he doesn't want to, because like
yeah,
she's got him. Oh my God, that'd be great. He's an
yeah.
author. He could talk about writing a book. about
I've
that.
always said the best way to let someone know that you're over them is to obsessively talk about them constantly and form an entire new persona
Hey man,
about how much you're over
his channel
them.
got bigger than mine doing it, so God bless him.
Hey,
You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
big up.
But,
Yeah, that's
Money's
great.
money's
I
rolling in. So
I actually think for Walton, it was actually very therapeutic
Yeah.
Like
to do it the way he did it. But
cathartic, is that the word?
no, therapeutic. Like,
Oh, okay.
what did you say?
It actually
Lethargic?
probably is
I said
both.
cathartic.
Cathartic. Yes, it's cathartic, therapeutic. Cathartic's probably a better word, smarty pants.
It probably became to a
he-
point to where it wasn't even about her anymore. It
Right.
was just the process of going through it.
right. He lived through that over and over again.
Oh, we all did adjacently.
I never watched the videos. Why bother? Gotta be a
Why the
pimp.
brother got to be a pimp?
Yeah. So was his slick back? Are we talking about?
Are we talking about
Louis?
Iceberg Slim?
It's awful. And it's crazy because they could have kept the original time period and just let him be Creole. Yeah, he was nobility, and they made him a pimp. Sickening. Yes, I'm with you. Germ loves hookers. Louisiana had wealthy Creoles of all color. That show was insulting. And that's the thing about like when it was a French owned land, even into early American ownership. Yes, there was very rich Creole people. Like, I don't understand why they because these are people that they want the agenda, but they don't do the research to know that they could have pulled it off. That's the problem with today's modern television. Oh, talking about modern television, and we were going to talk about this on Saturday, but I guess it's real. I held off saying anything. Kathleen Kennedy is retiring, not getting fired like everyone said for years, but
Oh,
retiring.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Like, just think about it. Think if you were some hypothetical YouTuber, we'll name them Cock Doom, right?
yeah.
And years
Oh
ago,
shit.
you said, "Hey, this person's gonna get fired," but
Mhm.
now you're like, "No, that's what I said. I said that she was going to be let go at the end of her contract in 2025. Check the tape or what have
Mhm.
you, right?"
Mhm.
Like, I was right all along. It just took a little time for
Took a little time,
the
and she
reality to catch up to my truth. Does that make
and she
sense?
well, she didn't get fired either, but
Right.
she's gone. She's leaving, and she'll probably have like statues made of her, and But the woman literally destroyed a franchise, and not just one. Don't forget, she brought back Harrison Ford
Yeah.
to be belittled by her insert of herself into the
Yep.
movie.
And don't forget
Every
about
Yeah.
Willow and what they did to Mad Mardigan.
dude,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Willow legitimately was so bad that they took it off the streaming service.
Mhm.
Like, what? And anybody who says she did a great job with Star Wars, like, there's one show I was a fan of, but I don't feel like it's Star Wars. It was Andor. I think Andor is a
I
good
couldn't get through it
show,
all.
but I can't think of it as a Star Wars has always been good versus evil in a family friendly way. That has how Lucas had it. And
Mhm.
this is more of the nitty-gritty, one line from the first movie. Or
I
the first movie.
I think, like, the only property that Lucas Art or whatever has that they didn't destroy was Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
everything else they've owned as far as IP, they have demolished into
Yeah.
nothing.
I mean, the MCU,
Well, that's
it
Marvel.
really Marvel was great and up until Endgame, and then after that they tried to okay, now we're really going to do what we wanted to do. And it goes to show you can't look. Captain America is Steve Rogers. No offense to Sam Wilson, but Sam Wilson's Falcon, and he was great
Yeah.
as Falcon.
Mhm.
Oh,
You made
well,
him
Howard the Duck is Marvel, but George Lucas, I believe, was the one that did the movie,
the
which was
first,
the
the
official
original movie.
Yeah,
That's
that was the
awesome.
first Marvel movie.
His name is Howard the
The
Duck.
Duck.
Duck. No way to Mom from
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Back
George
to the
Lucas had something to do with that movie too, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no, yeah. No,
Yes,
all
it
that
was produced by Lucas.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you also have to blame fans for getting us to Kathleen Kennedy because the hatred of the prequels, which I was not a big fan of, I've come to enjoy them a little bit better, but they weren't as good as the originals. But that backlash that's why Lucas started thinking about getting rid of it.
Yeah.
You know?
I haven't ever done this on YouTube. I'll probably try to do it sometime soon until the story about why the Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones is my favorite Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the movie. It's just when I watched it, there was some banana shit that happened on like around me watching it.
Okay. I want to
Yeah,
hear
I have
that
to tell
story.
that story sometime.
I do want to hear that story. The damage is already done when it comes to KK. Yeah, she terrible. And she's also the one, like, at least we have the books. Well, she made them not canon, which is ridiculous. She got it so bad. And then you had, because of this last era, people like, I never knew Hamill, Luke
Hamilton?
Skywalker, Jake Skywalker. What's his name?
Oh, Mark Hamill?
Mark Hamill?
Mark Hamill. Mark, I couldn't remember his first name there, but Mark Hamill tried to tell everybody that Luke was gay. Like, Mara Jade is one of the hottest pieces of art in the canon, and he married her, but yet he's gay. She also wanted us to think that the Jedi were the bad guys. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many. I'm sorry.
Even that show though disproves it because they did nothing wrong in that show.
They didn't. Literally you turned into a ghost monster
Yeah.
and
Am I
tried to go.
not supposed to stab you?
I'm going to stab the shit out of you. You also like got into the mind of a Jedi. Like, come on.
I just can't believe she's like, I was gonna let you take her. Why the fuck you turn into a ghost monster then?
Exactly. And just there's every like Kenobi, was there. We know for a couple, almost 2 decades, watching over Luke.
Yep.
But yet, and I can even understand he suppressed the Force so that he couldn't be found, but not to train. You didn't train at all. Like, what did you expect if Vader just showed up?
Yeah. Well, like, couldn't you train on suppressing the force?
Right. But
But
again,
still maintaining forceness?
well, even if you had to suppress it, you could still train and keep your body in shape.
Could you like drain a couple liters of your blood, but keep it on keep it cold, so that way you don't have as many midichlorians inside of you.
Midichlorians.
But then
Yeah.
if Darth Vader does show up, you can do an injection to boost those back up.
Cyclist.
I'm just
I see what you're
spitballing
saying.
here.
Doping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, good idea.
Or you could do a blood transfusion with like a low midichlorian count.
Yeah.
And keep your high midichlorian count blood like in the freezer in the like fridge. So that way if Darth Vader does come, then you just do a blood transfusion back. Fucking science, nailed it.
You got it. I mean, it is
solved.
They have the ability to jump to light speed, so you should have a quick way to shoot that stuff back in your body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like think of
it's not
everything she
perfect.
did.
There's some holes in my
in the theory,
my suggestion, but
we can figure it out.
Yeah,
But
the force.
you think about from the beginning, she started the sequel with a different director in the second movie who had nothing to do with that genre of film, and she let him do whatever he wanted. He destroyed so many of the storylines that were in the first movie, and still thinks he wouldn't change a thing. Rian Johnson.
Well, yeah, because it was his story. It just happened to feature characters from Star Wars. That's all it was. It was just the delivery device that
Method,
he used
yeah.
for
And it just the idea that you grow up, all right, as a nerd, the world you fall in love with has its own natural laws, and one of them was, I don't believe everybody is force sensitive. So if you work hard, you're not going to become a Jedi. You had to inherently have that the force ability.
Mm-hmm.
2, it took training, meditation, physical train, like to become great at it. And then you have a hero of a story that becomes the superest Jedi bestest ever and kills the Emperor who already died. I don't know. I know there's stories where he lived and cloned himself and all that crap, but like it just made her the one. And Luke was just the guy who saved us some
Right, but
time.
but actually it's Palpatine, so
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a loss, man.
She is a Palpatine. Yeah.
The 9 series Skywalker arc ends up with all the Skywalkers dead.
Yep.
And a Palpatine burying their bullshit and about to burn down their, Luke's childhood home.
Yeah.
And kill this old lady because she asked the wrong question or whatever. I don't know what she's gonna do after it went black.
And take the name for herself.
Yep.
Like, come on. And Finn, he went from we all thought he was force sensitive.
Yep.
To this guy who just ran after
Ray.
Right. It was just terrible.
Became a simp, dude. Yep. Ray had no interest in you, homie.
Not at all, bro. You were punked. You were punked.
What's crazy
of course
is
she was going to go for the bad boy. I mean,
that's why you got to pretend to be a bad boy, guys. That's my dating advice for you. Pretend to be a bad boy. You don't actually have to be one.
Yeah. Occasionally, you just got to give her a little. Sometimes you got to give her a little
smack. Yeah. Got a reminder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep that pimp hand. Keep that pimp hand strong.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to keep it in prime shape. Ask Luann. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it was like nothing. I can't think of one thing she did like elevated Star Wars. Nothing she did elevated it. She never made anything better. She always put herself in as the star of that whatever it was. I don't think Rey as much, but the girl from Indiana Jones. What else? Like there was always that strong female, the one from the girl from Amelia Clark became, you know what I mean? Like it was always like a brown-haired girl.
You know who I never saw on the red carpet or doing interviews? Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer. Never seen them ever. It would be in front and center of their movies, but yet they have produced some of the most badass movies ever. Sure, the cocaine helped, but I never saw the cocaine do interviews either. What I'm saying is she was the focus of these movies.
Well, she worked for great
like Kevin
men.
Feige.
She worked for great men and then wanted to step over them to show that she was even better. Like she was the woman behind all their victories. Well, we learned that she made coffee.
Did she have anything to do with the prequel series?
No, I don't think. Was she around for prequel? The prequels, yeah. I mean, like her name was maybe on it. She was like his assistant.
Bro, the cops could bring me in today in a lineup and say, all right, which one of these guys is Don Simpson? I would have no fucking clue, even though I'm a huge fan of his work when, rest his soul, RIP, but I could not pick him out of a lineup whatsoever. Or Jerry Bruckheimer for that matter.
But no idea. Neil Breen.
Neil Breen.
Oh, yeah, well, he's above them all.
Oh, dude. Kennedy did a Deadline interview. Let's just take a quick look at that. Oh, just give me a second. Like I said, the Aluminum Spork, we talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about now. There is no true topic yet. It is okay. It's more, we still focus on the UFOs and shit like that. But Kathleen, yeah, tell me anything she did that was good. Any project. Was she Rogue One? Yeah, right.
Adjacently, I think.
No, I think she was the head when Rogue.
I'm looking at her Wikipedia page, and I'm not seeing. I mean, there's a lot of things that she's producer and executive producer for, but
yeah, Jane, I still stand by my theory that her goal was to pull a major league and make Lucas art or whatever, film, whatever, so broke and so like worth nothing that she could buy it on the cheap and then move them to like Las Vegas or whatever and start a new franchise or some shit. You know what I mean? Just like what happened in major leagues. The chick bought the Cleveland Indians and was trying to make them as horrible as possible so that they could, move to Miami or whatever. I think it's the
Right.
same thing, but
Right. Dude, why is this like this? I can't X out of this your privacy rights thing. There's no way it's just blocking everything.
Oh, that's weird.
So weird. Maybe if I make it smaller, it'll go away. That was weird. Okay. All right. We'll go a little smaller. Let's see where I can get away with it. All right. Let's try that. Okay. All right. Kathleen Kennedy. This is an exclusive, everyone. Kathleen Kennedy speaks on her Lucasfilm plans. She is, yeah, she is not, wait a minute, she is not soon retiring, and the films that will keep her in Star Wars orbit for years to come. Huh? I thought she was retired. Oh, maybe she'll still get a credit. I don't know. I thought I'd seen it all in trade journalism, but the piranha-like frenzy on Kathleen Kennedy and the successor speculation that followed Matt Belloni's Puck report that Disney was putting her out to pasture is a new one on me. Belloni for years has been beating on Kennedy like she owes him money, and this week he reported Kennedy was retiring. I recall he essentially did the same thing more than a year ago, and yet here she still is producing the Mandalorian movie and prepping the Sean Levy directed Star Wars film that Ryan Gosling is circling, as well as numerous other films and A-list projects. Still, the trades followed the gusto. Wait a minute, is she not retiring?
well, she wasn't retiring anyways. Her contract was up, and they're just not going to renew it.
That's what I thought too. But they were going to play it off as no one's going to fire her. I don't know why. She must have a lot of dirt on people. Follow with gusto, dishing speculative reporting on who might succeed Kennedy. The takeaway was chaos and that Kennedy was being pushed. The reality is different and far more orderly. According to insiders, Kennedy has been working on a succession plan for a couple of years, eyeing candidates from within in process with Bob Iger and Alan Bergerman. That puts someone like Dave Filoni, who knows the universe
The
inside and
fuck
out.
he does.
I don't know. I do
He
not
may know all the music, but he can't hit the notes.
exactly. I do not want, dude. Everything would be what's her name. Everything would be
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
hmm
Yeah.
I admire Bellany's hustle and ability to turn. I'm just going to say B. B's hustle and ability to turn over hard ground, but his penchant for defining industry people like Kennedy in despairing ways. Well, I just don't understand that. I didn't appreciate it when Deadline founder Nikki Fink did it here, and it feels like the
Appetite.
thank you. I thought that's what it was for. I was looking at this word
Yeah.
for skin.
Schadenfreude
Yeah.
Okay, why don't
Schadenfreude.
you can keep reading, honey. Honey, I said,
is
Tina,
nowhere near
sorry.
as high now, given how this business is still trying to regain footing after the global pandemic.
Shut
year-long
up.
They're
labor
still
strikes
using
in
that. Wait a minute. They're still
Shut the
using
fuck
that
up.
as an excuse. Wow.
Oh, and most recently the wildfires, like that will have made a
That
difference. So
ravaged
it's like,
stuff. What?
They don't even film anything in California. It's too expensive.
That's crazy.
exactly.
Okay.
Kennedy would seem an unlikely target for ire in good times or bad. 13
What?
years
Wait a minute.
into
Wait a
her
minute.
run.
Oh, we're mad fapping this. Hold on. Kennedy would seem an unlikely target for ire in good times or bad. I just want to make sure you heard that this guy is a simp. Who is it again? Let's see who this guy is. Mike Fleming Jr. Just remember about Mike loves Kathleen Kennedy.
Bro, she's not gonna fuck you, man.
Yeah. Here we go, right here. All right.
13 years into her run steering Lucasfilm, she has done much more with the challenge of trying to broaden George Lucas's Star Wars vision, because we had no other material outside those movies, right?
Right. Or he didn't
after-
also have the beginning of a playwright script or whatever for
He had an outline
the wills.
for them to
Yeah,
follow.
the wills. Yeah, the wills. Yeah, bullshit. Okay.
After Disney bought it from him for $4 billion in cash in stock in 2012. It's a challenge Amazon now will try with James Bond
Not
after
even close
purchasing
to being the
creative
fucking same.
No.
control for 007 gatekeepers for $1 billion beyond the $8 billion they paid for MGM. Kennedy arguably is the most successful female producer executive in
And
Hollywood
that is an
history.
embarrassment to the female people.
Right. And she's only that, no offense to women, but because of the men she worked for.
Yep.
I mean, it
She
was
has produced.
Lucas. I'm sorry, real quick. It was Lucas.
No.
It was Spielberg. There was somebody else too. I mean, she was a part of all their films as a producer or executive. Dude, come on. She was not. Okay, sorry.
She produced more than 70 films that have collected 120 Oscar noms and 25 wins.
Okay, real quick though. When you say 120 Oscar noms and 25 wins, there's a big difference between having a movie being nominated for best costume or best sound design or best props
Right.
versus best picture. You know what I mean?
Right.
There are levels to that game.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And she herself was awarded the honorary Oscar with the Irving G. Thalberg Memorial Award with 8 other Oscar noms. Her resume
You know what?
is
If she
dotted.
was so great, she would have a win in some of these noms. And it wouldn't have to be a
Very
made
true.
up Oscar.
Yeah, true.
Very true. Her resume is dotted with the classics, including Jurassic Park, The Sixth Sense, and Indiana Jones franchise, E.T., Munich, Lincoln, The Color Purple, War of the Worlds, Poltergeist, Schindler's List, and the Back to the Future franchise, and
You
so
see
many
anything in
others.
common with those?
All men that directed and also produced and wrote. Which one of these did she bring to the table?
When we
If
talk
any.
about the Indiana Jones franchise, she was not a producer on the first one, correct?
No, I think she was just an assistant.
Yeah.
I could be.
So I love how instead of saying the actual movie she may have had producer credits on, you can say the Indiana Jones franchise.
Well,
Yep.
She was associate producer on, not even on the first one, but for Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade. So
Yeah.
she wasn't even an associate producer on the first one.
And what kills me here is, and Soul puts it good, KK had the most easy gig ever. She had the EU for movies and
Yeah.
shows, an established diehard fandom and film treatment written by Lucas himself, and she tossed it all away for feminism. And she also then, because her writers were crap, they went back and scavenged pieces of the EU, but not using them correctly.
Yep.
Yeah. They meant her. Yeah, they liked her. I mean, that's why Lucas made sure she was the next head, because he trusted her. And we all know he was probably signed a DRN.
A DRN, of course. They always that's how they get you.
Do not
A DNA?
those. And
NDA?
Oh, NDA. Damn
NDA.
it, Scott, you got me fucked up on it now.
MDA, PhD, whatever. And that's fine that they mentored her, they trusted her, and yes, but she spit in their faces. Exactly. Yes. See, Eminem.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, he
you can
turned
go
out to
on.
be a
I'm
great
sorry.
guy.
Well, it has always been a challenge to please the Star Wars faithful, and there have been some misfires. The 5 Star Wars films she has produced have grossed nearly $6 billion.
2 of that came from one fucking movie, dum-dum. Also, real quick, okay, did it not start with I don't know why anybody would have a problem with her of all people? And then it says here, well, now there has been some misfires. Do you think maybe you could connect that to why people have had a problem with her?
Yeah.
Not to mention though, that $6 billion is so misleading because
It is.
the Force Awakens came in at over $2 billion.
Yeah.
And then the next one, half of that.
Yeah. And also Rogue One made some money. And the thing is even when Star Wars fans hate it, a lot of us will still watch it just to see what was destroyed and pray that it's okay. The Mandalorian was a fake out, we were told one thing and got freaking a completely different story.
Also,
I'm sorry.
When did we start saying Andor was a streaming success? It is the most liked. I feel.
I don't know if it was
the
considered
quality.
I didn't
It's not
think a lot of
success,
people.
though.
Yeah, I liked Andor. I thought it was a great story. I want to watch season 2. I find it interesting. It's in the Star Wars world, but it's not of the Star Wars.
Which,
like,
yeah, I'm fine with. It was just
yeah,
like by the third episode, it just felt like it reset after he escaped or whatever. It just felt
Mhm.
like a total reset, and now it you know the intensity or the pace of it just came to
Mhm.
a halt, and I
Well,
just couldn't
now
get
it's gonna
back
be,
into it.
dude. Now it's gonna be real fast. Every 3 episodes is at least a year of Andor's life. So, like,
Yeah,
I don't know if this is gonna be the
but
last season, but it keeps jumping.
but that says something to the quality of the Disney Plus Star Wars shows that all they had to put here was The Mandalorian and Andor. One, that the people that do like it don't think it's very Star Wars, and a whole bunch of people ignored it
Mhm,
because they felt it was boring. And then The
mhm.
Mandalorian, which went to shit very quickly.
Yep, and I got
None of
crap
the
for
other
that
Star
one.
Wars movies that or TV shows that they've done. Anyway, keep going. God dang.
See,
Yeah,
Why do
cool.
y'all, why do y'all
I
do this to
couldn't
me?
watch. I couldn't watch the Andor because I never saw Rogue One, so
Yeah,
Andor meant
It
nothing to me.
it's
it's
absurd that they were like, "Hey, let's make a TV series from some of the characters that we have in Rogue One." Oh, cool. So we have Danny Yao, what's his name?
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
with the Force is with
yeah,
me,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
his buddy. Those two guys and a buddy cop movie that took place before that would be
Right before he even
amazing,
lost his eyesight or
right?
something.
Because you have one that when the Jedi fell, you have one that went
Yeah,
completely
2
away
opposite.
from it. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
became lost all of his faith, and another one
Yep,
that went even harder in his
yep.
faith, and they're still friends, and they're hanging out in the fucking galaxy doing cool shit. But no, we'll
Just
go with
bullshit, dude.
Andor, who
But you
nobody
know
even
what?
remembers.
What also kills me is, again, I liked Rogue One. I was
I
one
like
of the
parts of
people
it.
that watched The Force Awakens and was just like, "This is a rehash." But Rogue One, like, you just you have so many. Like, well, let's find characters in the Star Wars film and like let's focus on them. They took one line from the first movie and created Rogue One from that. And then what did they do? Well, let's just tell the story, even though we already told the story of how they died. Let's tell them how they got to their death. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just,
I was
it's
fine
not.
with that because I really did think that those two guys, man, that they could have had their whole series, like, or
Oh,
released the
they could have.
movie. They were so
Yes.
amazing. It
And
when the movie felt light, not light, but like it came alive when they were on screen or
well,
they're
you
a
felt the
part of it.
chemistry. You felt the chemistry.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Hmm.
And they were like,
Uh,
no, no, Andor, this guy.
yeah, totally. All right.
Sorry,
Sorry,
Matt.
Matt.
The woman is a first ballot Hall of Famer, not someone who deserves to be batted around like a pinata. She also deserves
I swear to God, I thought
to
you said
own
mad.
her
That's awesome.
deserves to own her own narrative and demystify this pseudo drama. Deadline gave Kennedy that opportunity, catching her just before she headed off to be honored tonight with husband Frank Marshall at the Oscar Wilde
Hold the fuck
Awards.
on. No one, no matter what they do, deserves to own their own narrative.
Yeah,
That's
that's the
not
whole
how
thing.
truth works.
If you're a public of, like, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Like, that's again someone who believes that they're allowed to tell the story, not us. Our eyes, we're lying, like, no, you give us bullshit and we're just supposed to chew it up.
All right.
That's cool.
Sorry.
All
Keep
right.
going.
So
Keep
this is
going.
the actual interview with her.
Yes, yes. The truth is, I want to say loud and clear, I am not retiring. I will never retire from movies. I will die making movies. That's the first thing that's important to say. I am not retiring. What's happening at Lucasfilm is I have been talking for quite some time with both Bob and Alan about what eventual succession might look like. We have an amazing bench of people
No, you do
here, and we
not.
have and we have every intention of making an announcement months or a year down the road. We are in lockstep as to what that's going to be, and I am continuing. I am producing the Mandalorian movie right now, and I'm producing Sean Levy's movie, which is after that. So I'm continuing to stay at Lucasfilm and looking very thoughtfully with Bob and Alan as to who's stepping in. So that is all underway, and we have every right to make that announcement when we want to make it.
Shut the fuck up. All right, so
This
here's what
is
I'm
why I
hearing.
didn't report on this,
Th-
truthfully, because I knew this was going to happen.
This is what I'm hearing though. No, she is not retiring, but I think that because the contract is up at the end of the year, so this tracks with what people have been saying that
Yeah.
she's out when the contract is up. Now, if
But
movies are
she's
being
on these
produced,
parts.
she's still
Yeah.
gonna have she's still gonna have her name on those
Title.
projects
Yeah.
because she is a part of it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like when they went to Steven Spielberg about the new Jurassic World movie, the
Mhm.
first one that relaunched, and they said and he said, well, what about this? And that was it. One
Yep.
suggestion, he has a producer credit on it.
Yep.
So saying that she's gonna have the producer credit means
Yeah.
really nothing.
And it could just be, even after that, it could be a legacy producer credit.
Yes,
You know?
exactly.
All right.
Okay, I can't
So
say
yeah,
who it
Small
is
Time
because
Republic's right. In other words, they'll announce her replacement later this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
this is just to debunk the verbiage being used of her retiring.
All right. So I'll be Deadline, you be Kennedy. Okay, this is
Okay.
fun. That you are looking within seems to give credence to what we've heard, that an exec like Chief Creative Officer Dave Filoni is in a good position as he works on a Star Wars to write and direct.
Real quick, their Deadline. What the fuck do you mean that you are looking within? What does that even mean?
mean,
You're
like,
looking
hiring
within to
within.
see.
Hiring within, not outside.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that you're looking within it. I thought it was some spiritual fucking bullshit. I get what you're saying.
No, the Jedi are evil.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. You're looking within
can't say
the company.
I can't say who it is because there's just an internal process that goes on inside a large corporation and a publicly held company as to how we go about making deals, finalizing decisions, and making announcements. There's nothing unusual about that, and we're in that process.
This flurry of press coverage, it sounds like chaos. What's the reality?
Chaos? There has never been any chaos because we know exactly what the plan
You
is.
are insane.
And we've been talking about it, as I said, nonstop for the last couple of years, because for obvious reasons, I'm not going to be here forever. George asked
suck.
me 13 years ago to step in.
Was a mistake.
And now I'm looking at who's going to replace me. And as I said, we
It
have
should
a
be
bench
George.
of people internally to handle the business, the creative side. The job has grown also since I stepped in. There was no streaming. There weren't a lot of things that we're involved in right now going on. Or sorry, there weren't a lot of things that we're involved in right now going on. So it has grown.
It should have stayed that way.
Mad, take over the Deadline for a minute.
Yeah, okay. How far down the road do you expect before a change gets made? And then you go off and produce these two big Star Wars things?
We'll probably make an announcement months or a year out, and I have every intention of sticking around to help that person be successful. I'm already producing the Mandalorian movie and Sean Levy's movies after that.
I recall these same retirement predictions were rendered a while ago, and you re-upped, and here you are. What do you make of the fixation on your job stats?
I truly don't know, and any discussion previously about me retiring or quitting or any of those things, that's complete rumor mill, because through all these reports, I have just continued to do my job and continuing my contract. Nothing unusual. It all has just been manufactured.
Yeah, fuck Doomcock. The condensation is you're being pushed aside in need of replacement, though that's not what I've heard.
It is absolutely not the case. It couldn't be further from the truth. And everything that we do inside of Lucasfilm is in lockstep and in communication with Disney. We all know what's going on. The communication has been completely collaborative, as you would expect. This is a big piece of business for them, and they want to empower me to help them make that decision and that choice.
So
I'm
they're
doing that.
retarded, is what you're telling me. I'm placing some blame on Marvel's Kevin Feige. Fuck that guy, straight white male, because he had that magnificent streak of superhero hits and set an impossibly high bar. But he had male privilege and white privilege that you don't. Well, white privilege you do, but it doesn't count because I like you. But now he's starting to take shrapnel because he sucks too, because he's white and straight. How daunting is it to run a company based on beloved and iconic IP? Like, do they not know that you don't have all this material that you could work on? Anyway, what has been the most challenging thing about running Lucasfilm when fans of the original truly gross measure everything against it? and don't see the business need of broadening the franchise when Disney paid so much for it. It's what Amazon MGM will now go through as it expands to James Bond. Why would you? All of that is one question. Why would you package all of that at once for her? Narrow it down. Get her to answer the first part that you talked about. The second part, fuck, god dang.
Yeah. He's
It
making
is
it way
something
too.
I think about all the time.
Which
It's
part?
fascinating. It's fascinating to think about how you sustain a brand, especially Star Wars, which is just about to celebrate its 50th anniversary, and to analyze and understand what was inspiring George when he created Star Wars, when he was still looking at Saturday matinees and Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon and those kinds of things of the past, and politically what he was reflecting in his story. Because Star Wars has always been a kind of world building and it reflects a certain amount of our society.
No, the
Wait a minute,
world's
what?
already built. It's
Yeah.
built.
Yeah. It's good versus evil, black and white. It is not this gray she wanted to create, and the Force is female. Fuck.
The world, needless to say, is changing by the second, and consequently, the audience has changed dramatically how they consume things. We're seeing this reflected in the health of the movie business and what it really means for streaming, and what are all these other platforms that may be in the horizon. You're trying to look forward, and at the same time, you're trying to create stories that feel familiar. So you are moving into the future, but you're maintaining a sense of familiarity. I think that's the hardest to balance.
So she knows what she's doing wrong.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what gets me.
And she keeps doing it.
She says it as it makes sense if it was coming from anyone, somebody that actually gave a shit about what they were making, right?
Right.
Like you were like, okay, yeah, you're moving into the future, but you want to maintain that same familiarity and that same feel to it. God, that's a great idea. Why aren't you doing this?
Right. And you know what kills me too is the idea that like she didn't care about George's vision or any of
No.
it. Like George would never make a story where the Jedi are the bad guys.
Here's the thing. This makes it even worse, right? Is she knows what should be done. She knows the right way, but she
Yeah.
is actively, defiantly
And
refusing
adamantly. Yeah, exactly.
to do it.
That's sickening. It's sick. I can't believe people thought she was retiring. This is great.
That is sitting on a boat while someone is drowning, and you're like, yeah, no, I know I'm supposed to throw the life like the little lifesaver thing out to him. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it a different way because I'm a woman.
Exactly, dude. I like to apologize to everyone. I tried to get Edwin on to read, but
I feel like I'm doing okay.
I couldn't find the Edwin's wig.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, then when you have a brand that's this
Whoa,
expansive,
we got to read that. Wait a minute.
Why? That's
Oh,
'cause,
this is still the same answer.
yes.
Okay, keep
yeah,
going.
she's still answering.
Okay.
Then when you have a brand that's this expansive, you're also, and this is something we work very hard at, you try to find different entry points for different generations because that's what Star Wars has always been.
No,
bullshit again.
That's bullshit.
It brings together generations with simple storytelling about the hero's journey. That's it. You don't have to find different generation points. Kids in the 70s loved it and brought their kids to see it.
I can't
in the
keep
prequel.
doing this.
She's evil.
We were supposed to be wrapping up, dude.
I know. You know what?
This is just making
We're
me
gonna
angry. I don't even know why.
We're gonna do this on Saturday.
Yeah,
We'll
save
we'll
this.
read this
Sounds
Saturday.
good.
Okay, because this is
Sounds
angering
good.
me.
I don't understand why. I love Star Wars, but I've never been anywhere near the level of Star Wars fanatics that you guys are.
Mm.
But yet every time I read something from her or it just drives me mad. I think it's just the how inauthentic.
Well, yeah, yeah, that too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, right?
I know exactly what you're saying, and
Like, just
also
how-
the arrogance, dude.
It's baffling and it drives me insane.
Yeah, she has that. I'm doing what I want, and
Inauthentic.
admittedly-
Yeah, I guess the
Inauthentic, yeah.
inauthentic. I guess it bothers me that she knows the right way to do
Yeah.
it, but she's actively not. Fuck that shit, dog.
I mean, go back and we'll play it. We'll play it next week or on Saturday, where she is sitting next to George Lucas talking about the sale and how much he has faith in her. And she has this grin on her face where you think, oh, she's very honored. No, it's, I'm going to fucking destroy your world. Like, I always expected a story to come out. Like, he used to like beat her or something, you know, like but, I don't
Something
know.
to justify her action.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
was-
Because
just
you don't want to
that-
think
there
of
a-
somebody.
Wasn't there a movie about like an executive? There was a kind of like a dominant submissive kind of scenario where the secretary was being,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. It's called 9 to 5.
You
Oh.
would expect it to be like something like Oppenheimer. You know, at the very end
No,
of Oppenheimer, you find out the reason Robert Downey Jr. did all this was because Oppenheimer made fun of him one time, like
Right.
20
Mhm.
years earlier, and it's been
Right.
this long con. That's
Right.
what that would at least not justify, but
something.
give reason
Even the
behind
mistakes.
her
Yeah.
actions.
Right, like the where he thought he told Einstein but he was so arrogant to think they were talking about him.
Yeah.
And they were
Mhm.
talking about something completely different.
It is so perfect because it's not just him that's being hurt; it's everyone.
Yep. It's terrible. It's just terrible. Yeah, we're gonna get going for tonight, guys. It's been fun, but I gotta get some sleep. I'm sorry. I was gonna try to make this only an hour and a half, but then we got into that. But Mad, thank you. What do you got going?
Of course, sir.
Anything you wanna throw out there?
Tuesday, 8:30. We'll be talking about communicating with ghosts. I got a great story to go with that, and the girlfriend, she's gonna make an appearance on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Quarter Black Garrett will be on sometime. I don't know.
I'll be on that episode.
Oh yeah.
I'm one of those
Anyway.
people.
So yeah, that's all I got going on. I'll be on Sending Art tomorrow night, probably, and that's about it.
All right. Yeah, thanks. And Tina, where are you gonna be at?
Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, I will be on Vinny Arts channel for the Friday Underground. And then, of course, we'll be leading the chat for Send an Art podcast later on that evening. And then I'll be back with Scott on Saturday. And then Sunday night, back with Vinny for, we're watching more of the second season of the animated series Primal.
Nice. I got to get Vinny back on when we're talking about all the stuff going on in the world today. Just let him know. I'll reach out.
Will do.
Maybe, yeah, Vinny's a good dude. But thank you everybody for being here tonight. Jane, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. To all the new members, I'm going to try to do a stream hopefully in the next week and a half. So keep your eyes on posts about that in the members only chat on YouTube. But I really do appreciate all the support, and I hope that new members will stick around and hang out with us more than just a month. But we love you guys. So thank you. Have a great night. And remember, Kathleen Kennedy sucks and she's not retiring. Bye, everybody.
Welcome to Aluminum Spork, where mysteries come
Aw,
to
Jane.
talk.
Black Angus is now a channel. Black Angus is in the chat. All right. Thank you, Jane, for gifting one Spork News podcast membership. That makes 58 now. Thank you. Love you, buddy.
Giants of the past, prophetic
Everybody,
signs that
stay safe out there. Keep your eyes open.
archaeological
Look out for all the bullshit that's trying to keep us. And remember, Kathleen Kennedy will live forever. Good night, everybody.